Hello everybody, welcome back to EJ's Trains. Today we are going to be going over all my brand new York finds. So let's jump into it. Okay, so let's start off by the first engine, which is going to be this one right here. Let's get these off the table. Okay, so right here, this is a Rail King Galloping Goose. If you've not heard of the Galloping Goose before, it's kind of like a big rig and a train put together, and it's really cool. And we got this from Seaside Hobbies. Oh. Okay, open up. Open says me. It worked. Okay. So here's the box. Put it down there. Okay, so it's just that. I'll leave that right there. Okay, so I'm gonna move this. Okay, so right here, unwrap it. This is a Rio Grande Galloping Goose number 6. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Okay, so let's get this on the track. Okay, so as you might be seeing, I am wearing an Eric's Trains t-shirt. The reason why I got this Eric's Trains t-shirt and this trolley, me and many others that were at the little talk meet and greet thing with RVP Trains and Eric's Trains, Chris's Trains and Things, and JD Stucks and Peachy's Trains. Me and many other people there won stuff from the drawing that they had. And I was one of them that got a very nice trolley. So let's unbox it and take a look at it. I've been actually wanting a trolley for a long time, and this is actually a really nice one. Okay, got it. Okay, so now to take a look at the little trolley here. This is actually really nice. Right around the edges here are little tiny Christmas lights. It is actually a bump and go trolley too. This is actually really nice, and so let's put it on the layout. Okay. So, let's do the next train. Okay, so right here is actually my Lion Chief Plus 2.0 Amtrak Genesis locomotive. I've actually ridden on one of these. It was very cool riding on it. And let's open it up. I've been actually looking for this for a while. And this thing smokes a lot. I mean a lot. Okay. What's down there? Okay. So, right here is my Amtrak. This is actually Amtrak number 169. Right here is the smoke unit. And let's just take a look at it. Okay, so let's put it on the layout. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is definitely my biggest purchase. This is a GG1 Proto 2 engine. We got this also from Seaside Hobbies, and it's really nice. The reason why we have been waiting to get a GG1 is because we've been looking for the right one that actually has a working smoking unit in it. So, whoops, upside down. Okay, pull it up. Okay, there we go. Right here. Right there. Oh. Even a nice little bottle of smoke fluid to go with it. There it is. Now, one thing I love about this engine is when it's in reverse, they go up. See? They are, they go up in the opposite direction of the way you go. So say you're going backwards, it would probably be this one up. Say you're going forward, or however you put it on the one. Say you're going forward, probably be this one up. So that's very nice. Let's go put it on the layout. Okay, so let's bring this big long engine over here. Get it perfect on the track. Okay, there she is. Okay, so right here, we're going to do like an introduction of all the engines of what they sound like, basically. So, let's start up the Rio Grande Galloping Goose. One of the things I love about it, because it's like a truck train thing, I'm not sure what to call it. What I love about it is it sounds like a real truck, like a real diesel, and when it runs, it sounds like you can almost hear the shifting of the gears. Next up is the Candy Cane Express trolley. Okay, so we're going to do the Amtrak now. today and checking out some really cool engines like this one that I got from the TCA York Train Show. Hope you had fun watching. Today was so much fun running trains and checking out some new engines. So hope you had fun. This is goodbye from EJ's Trains.
The guy that puts all the headlights on all the cars, I let him put this in there for me.
We've got a couple anonymous donors that donated some freight, some starter sets, and some engines. Train World donated an engine. Trains with a Z donated an engine and some gift cards for us. Legacy Station donated a gift card. Eric's donated some T-shirts for us as well. Todd Architectural Models just donated a building flat that's beautiful, so that's going to go today as well. Who am I missing? Mecca donated some tank cars as well. So I probably missed some folks, but we want to thank those sponsors for helping us out to give stuff away. And thank you all for coming. We have a live stream going as well, and I think Eric's going to be doing some recording, so you can watch this later on. But last time we've done this, it's kind of just been a Q&A. We'll kind of start off at the far end with Chris and kind of work our way down on just kind of an introduction and what we do within social media, and then go from there. And I'll let some of the other folks here kind of run the conversation, and we'll definitely answer questions and things like that. So Chris, you want to kind of start off? What do you do?
Yeah. So hi, my name's Chris. I do trains on YouTube. Started around 2021, and did trains all my life. Right, there was always something I did in the shadows or around Christmas time. And then when the pandemic happened, I had all the space in my basement, and finally convinced my wife. I was like, hey, rather than waiting until the kids are grown and moved out and I'm retired, can we do it now? And she was like, there's nothing better to do. Go ahead and try it. So, you know, I had a good friend who did the woodworking. So if you watch my videos, you're well aware of that. I'm just preaching to the choir here. But what was great, what was neat about it is how fast everything happened, right? The table was built, and then I started posting on the OGR and started to meet some people there, and I started following some Facebook groups and trying to determine what people were doing. And the truth is that people are doing everything, right? People that focus on pre-war and post-war and MPC and modern, and some people go and just put track on the floor, which is what I did for the longest time. Some people build these museum quality layouts, and it just doesn't matter where you are in the hobby, there's a spot for everyone. That's what I wanted to embrace when I started my YouTube channel. I was like, how do we represent as many people as we can and do it in my little basement room, right? So elements of my layout, which are fast track versus Atlas, and that's on purpose, right? It's to keep things so that we're demonstrating different types of tech at the same time. And then, you know, over time, it's really grown. And it's all thanks to everybody who's been engaging, because that's what it's all about, is building off of each other. I met so many people. I had a guy approach me yesterday who explained how the 700E should be evaluated in detail. I never knew this amount of information. Because it's one of the only engines I do not have that I really want. And now that I know what I'm supposed to be looking for, it's very intimidating. I got his information. I'm like, if I ever find one, I need you to break out the tape measure and make sure it's all right. But yeah, so I mean, again, thank you all for coming to this. It's been a lot of fun, and in a short amount of time, got to meet a lot of people. A lot of folks have been in this show doing this for years and years and years, and I hear a lot of stories. And one of my favorite conversations to have is folks who grew up during like the post-war era of Lionel, where an engine I might have bought from a secondhand retailer was under their Christmas tree, right? And my neighbor Sam happened to give me an engine that he was given as a child. It's the only post-war engine I have that I know exactly where it came from. And like, you know, his stories he'll tell me are just really neat. He's not even a train guy, but he just happened to show up at my house one time. And I said, Sam, you want to see my basement? He's like, what is this? I have a train in my garage. I was like, anyway. But yeah, glad to answer any questions. I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of you, but if there's anything that I can answer this morning, glad to do it. If not, we'll move over to PG. Yeah.
What would be your favorite or favorites of locomotives? Mine is my Region 9 Hobbit, and BNSF locomotives, and all our three stars at Edmund. What's your favorite or favorites?
So, well, your favorites are great, because that 1218 is a sick engine. But if I could have any engine that I wanted, it would be museum quality layouts, and it just doesn't matter where you are in the hobby. There's a spot for everyone. That's what I wanted to embrace when I started my YouTube channel. I was like, how do we represent as many people as we can and do it in my little basement room, right? So elements of my layout, which are Fast Track versus Atlas, and that's on purpose, right? It's to keep the boxcar. And I liked that logo, and I wanted to have a shirt that I could wear out in public that didn't scream train. And this logo was really cool, so my brother vectorized it, and my wife actually made me this shirt. I do have a closet full of them, I promise. It's not always this. So I just started wearing it like all the time, and that's why even when we did like the custom engine with Train World, we stuck with the Katie as the theme for that.
Let's go ahead and have Taylor introduce herself, and then we'll do Q&A at the end. Taylor, Peachy, we'll have your spot on that one.
That's all good. Alright, so I'm Peachy from Peachy's Trains. I'm probably the newest into the hobby, I think. This is my first York, so it's very exciting. I started with trains. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I started with trains in February of 2022, so very recently. Hogwarts Express was my first train, and then we got Pokemon Train after that, and it just exploded from there. We have a smaller-ish layout in our house. Not a lot of big space for a bigger layout, but it works out. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of a challenge to work around with the smaller curves and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, it limits some of the engines that I can get, but it's still a good time, so I really enjoy it. So we've actually, in the short time that I've been doing model railroading, we have had two layouts. We built one and already took it down and built a bigger one, so we're becoming experts very quickly on it. But yeah, so I don't know, I just enjoy it. I have a really good time. I've met amazing people at this meet. I've really been enjoying it. So thank you for being so welcoming, and it's been really fun. So any questions that I can answer? I will pass it to Eric.
Okay, I'm Eric Siegel. I've got a YouTube channel, Eric's Trains. I'm probably one of the oldest YouTubers here. I've been doing it for a long time. I started my channel back in 2006, and I started doing, well, I got into trains when I was a kid, because my dad had some post-war trains, and then when I had my own son, like a lot of people, that kind of reinvigorated reignited the fire, and I said, well, I'm going to pull those trains out, and I got the old post-war trains out, and then at that time I didn't know, this is probably like 2003, 2004, and at that time I didn't even know what progress had been made in terms of realism and scale and all this stuff. My whole world was the post-war stuff, and then I took a trip over to a local train store, and I saw my first, I think it was an MTH Proto-Sound engine. I was just blown away, and at that point I was sold on the modern stuff, and been doing that stuff ever since. Although I still love the post-war stuff, And even though I'm doing the modern stuff with the scale realism and more realistic, I still like it to be fun. I don't really focus on how accurate it is, or I like the fantasy paint schemes. I like it to be fun. You know, one thing I've always told people is, you know, you get, you know, people see the videos for 3-rail O scale and they say, or O gauge in general, and they say, what's with that third rail? You know, like, that's so awful. That's so unrealistic, that third rail. You know, and I always say, I like the third rail because it reminds me that it's about having fun and it's about using your imagination. And, you know, if you use your imagination, that third rail isn't there. And it's about kind of using your imagination to take you places that reality can't. And so for me, that's why I like it. And it gets to be a blur at the end of the day. Like I think I've shaken about 300 hands. But it's a lot of fun meeting so many people and hearing their stories and hearing how your videos have influenced them and everything. So, so did you have a question?
I think
you look familiar. Any other questions?
Eric, do you read the commentary that people write on your channel?
Yeah, I actually do read it all. I don't always respond. I've tried to be better at responding lately, at least hearting every comment. But I do read every comment. I might not reply, but I do read every comment. And I read every email that comes in too. I'm just really bad at replying to them in a timely manner. But yeah, the comments are part of the fun of doing the YouTube channel, because you get some pretty colorful comments sometimes. as all of us know, and so we kind of share those amongst each other. We're like, yeah, check out this comment, because some of them are pretty colorful. I'll just put it that way. Anyway, I'll let Jason go.
Thanks, Eric. Hi, good morning. My name's Jason Stuckert. I have a YouTube channel called JD Stucks, or Jason's O Gauge Trains. Kind of similar to Eric, I've been doing it since 2009 is when I started, and similar, when I was a kid, I played with my dad's post-war train, and as I grew up, a lot of my friends grew out of trains, like most people do in their teenage or college years, and that's something I guess was wrong with me, and I just continuously took it to the next level. And my YouTube channel, I was always plugged into like the OGR, and I would watch the TM books and videos, but there really wasn't a way to share what I did, or really a social aspect, at least, you know, being that young. So YouTube kind of presented itself as that opportunity where I could at least just point a camera, film my trains going in a circle, and wouldn't you believe it, someone actually watched the video. A few people actually were kind enough to leave a comment, and well, I did that for years, and it was really, you know, around that time just before COVID, during and after, that I met a lot of the people up here, a lot of the people in this room, people who were my age or older than me, but it was thanks to all the channels of social media, whether it was YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, we all kind of found each other, and the chance to come here to York and actually meet each other in person was huge. And now I know we all look forward to coming here so much, and of course we all buy trains while we're here, but if I walked out of here empty-handed, like, I still would have a blast. And I just make my videos now and hope that you all keep enjoying them, and try to do what I can to keep inspiring people to want to be part of this hobby. That's it.
Thank you very much. My name's Chris.
Thank you.
And you can read it through the microphone.
ticket number 890146 46 0146.
Oh, there you go.
You just come in the door?
That's a great irony for that.
let's do a red ticket item. These are for the kids only. First thing we're gonna give away, we've got an industrial trolley here from Atlas.
Industrial trolley from Atlas.
Red ticket.
Red ticket, it's like the Matrix.
Okay, so we have ticket number 905018.
There's also some food over here as well. Told East Division brought over, so feel free if you get hungry, need anything. Oh, yeah, you need a ticket for that. Does anybody have any questions over here?
My name is Jeff. I know a few of you guys. Chris Montana, you were on our Zoom meeting.
Yep.
Chris, you were on our Zoom meeting, and Eric was on our Zoom meeting. I have a question for you guys out there. I know that this is a social media thing. Can I see a raise of hands of how many people have actually watched videos that these guys have made? One or two? Okay, that's good. How many of you guys that are watching those videos have been influenced and have really thought, hey, I'm part of a much bigger community than I thought I was? Interesting. I know Chris Montana, when he was on, he said, hey, it was because of Eric's trains that he was sort of influenced in terms of developing his layout. And when you're out there and you think, I'm in this weird hobby that nobody else is involved in, and now because of these guys, that has really changed the perception of the world. And it's also changed the perception in terms of a lot of people think, well, okay, you're into trains. You know, you're in your 20s and 30s and you're into trains. Old guys like me, it's acceptable. Okay, but when you're younger, it's not a cool hobby. But you discover it's a pretty cool hobby when you have these guys showing what they've been up to. Question for you guys on the panel, and we'll just go right down the line. How many followers do you have right now? Arguably like
52.
50,000. Okay.
About 2,400.
Okay.
I just crossed 67,000 last night.
Knocking on the door of 16,000, I think.
Okay.
Just crossed 10,000.
That's roughly, that's some number more than 100,000. Your attendance at York, on a really good York, is going to be somewhere around 9,000 to 10,000. You guys are 10 times that in terms of what you're being able to achieve, in terms of the number of people who are seeing what you guys are up to. 10 times the number of people that are here. And this is the very mecca for trains. So think what you got into the hobby. You know, you say, hey, listen, we're lucky to be here, and this is great that we're here and whatnot. That's not the case. We're lucky to have you guys. You guys are the future of the hobby. Without two. And the only reason that those two guys will be here is because there's an offhand chance that there's free food. And there's not. So, well, I guess there is. So think about that. Every one of you guys in this room is a direct result of the fact of what those guys are doing. So they are the true celebrities, and they are the true heroes in this hobby right here. They're changing the way that this hobby exists. So, a big round of applause for you guys.
I would just add that it is our goal, if there's 10,000 people here and there's 60,000 people following Eric, we want that 50,000 difference to come here. We want them to be here and see what this is all about. Once you come here, like, you're hooked.
Well, and there's people in this room that have been on the forums and things like that that inspired me when I first started. Because when you start putting your stuff on the internet, you take that risk, you can get shot. It's like a first date. You can get shot down real quick. Cons are people that are longtime veterans of this hobby who embraced me as some random guy putting up videos of or pictures of my layout. He's like, "You're doing a good job." I'm like, "The guy in the forum said I'm doing a good job." Boy, that's equal to like 50,000 subscribers, you know? Anyway.
I think overall it's gotten better. When I started, it seemed to me it was a lot more harsh, and in probably the last 5-10 years, everyone has gotten a lot more receptive to it, and the harsh criticism has gone away, because it used to be, you know, every other comment was like, "Well, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong," and that seems to have gone away, and it's actually become a lot more positive.
Absolutely.
And to his point, go ahead.
I just want to add real fast that if you all remember a few years ago, COVID took over the country. We didn't know what was going on, where we were going, how we were going to survive, anything like that. I'm a retired flight attendant for Southwest Airlines after 25 years. That shut me down completely. I got sick and tired of listening to the COVID talk on TV, the number of deaths that were happening nationwide. Every night, the same thing, beaten into me over and over and over again. I just started watching YouTube, and I came across...
Because, you know, as bad as COVID was, the silver lining, I think if you talk to any of the people of the companies making stuff in the hobby, they'll tell you that, with all the best intentions possible, COVID was one of the best things to happen to the hobby in a long time. When Chris and I visited Lionel, the really cool thing about it was that, you know, we said, "Well, are your sales," you know, and talking to Legacy Station 2, I said, you know, "Are your sales going through the roof because of COVID?" And they said, "Yeah, but the thing that was going through the roof was not the people buying new trains, it was people buying the stuff to run them, the track, the accessories. People were setting up layouts, which is even more important than raw sales of locomotives. People were actually staying into it and building layouts, putting track up, putting mountains up and trees. And those were the real big sales numbers. Was Legacy Station told me that they couldn't keep the track on the shelves. It was just flying off the shelves nonstop, which was great to hear. So you know, COVID was unfortunate. A lot of people died, but if there was a silver lining, it was that it was really helpful for the hobby in terms of people getting into it and staying in it. So
oddly enough, the liquor stores had record sales.
You know, COVID, it was a blessing and a curse. A blessing for a lot of people, a curse for other people. But yeah, there were a lot of industries and sectors that benefited. Probably just as many benefited as were hurt. So it was a very interesting time.
Let's do 2 giveaways here.
What is our first giveaway, Chris?
Oh, that's a great question. From the LCCA, we've got a boxcar, and then we've got some accessories from Lionel, both from the LCCA.
The last 4 numbers of this ticket are 0103. Green ticket. 890103.
Awesome.
That's Trains with the Z. Trains with the Z. Gift card for how much money?
$100. All right, let's see. 890024.
Trains.com, $100 gift card.
Have you heard it? Why don't you go? Because it comes down down here. See, the pivot is down here. This comes up there. That comes up off.
Because it comes down to it. See, the pivot is back here.
This comes up.
That comes up also. But that's where we're going to fall down the road because it's a